Good morning. I'm Sergeant Dan Whalen of the Legal and Professional Standards Division. I'd like to ask that you please silence your cell phones. On behalf of Chief Alan Aldenberg and the Manchester Police Department, I would like to welcome all of you to today's promotional ceremony. I would now ask that we all rise, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and please be seated. Now allow me to introduce the command staff and dignitaries that are present today. Seated to my left, I have the Honorable Mayor Joyce Craig. Next to Mayor Craig, I have Chief of Police Alan Aldenberg. Next to the Chief, I have the Assistant Chief of Police, Peter Marr. Next to Chief Marr, I have Captain of the Special Enforcement Division, Captain Brandon Murphy. Next to Captain Murphy, I have the Captain of the Investigative Division, Captain Sean McCabe. And next to Captain McCabe, I have Captain Lara Shell, who is the Commander of the Community Affairs Division. And next to Captain Lara Shell, I have Captain John Cunningham, who is the Commander of the Patrol Division. I'd also like to recognize another dignitary in the audience. We have Alderman Kevin Kavanaugh, who is also with us today. I now invite the Honorable Mayor Joyce Craig to the podium to say a few words.
Thank you. Well, good morning. It's always such a pleasure to be here and to personally thank everyone in the Manchester Police Department for all that you do. And I want to extend my congratulations to Sergeant Duchesne, Sergeant Fernald, and Sergeant Hardy on your promotions, well-deserved promotions, I should say, and Officer Whiteman for receiving the Life-Saving Medal. I'm told that all of you have demonstrated a commitment to collaborating and sharing your expertise with colleagues and new police officers as they enter, and so much more. And I'm tremendously grateful for all that you do, and thankful. And every time that I'm here, I want to make sure that I take an opportunity to really thank all of you. You're on the front lines doing extremely hard work. And I just want you to know that the city of Manchester is behind you and tremendously grateful for all that you do. We're thankful to have you protecting our community and putting your lives on the line for all of us. So just wanted to say thank you very much, and I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you, Mayor Craig. I now invite Chief Aldenberg to step to the podium to offer a few words.
Unlike Juzza, you did the Pledge of Allegiance without the words in front of you, so that was good. With that, good morning. Alderman, thanks for being here. Former Sheriff, Hillsborough County Sheriff Hardy, thanks for being here as well. Mayor, thank you, and good morning to everybody, and thank you for attending today's promotion ceremony. In particular, I want to welcome the families of our three promotees, but before I do that, I want to recognize our three newest officers to the back of the room. They all look alike, black T-shirts with lanyards around their necks. Tim Whalen, who comes back to us from the Hampshire State Police, Zach Brandt, who comes to us from Portsmouth PD, and our most recent non-certified officer, Braden Smith, who comes to us from Norwich University. So, welcome, gentlemen. Raise your hands. So like I said, I want to take a moment to welcome our families of the promotees. In particular, Sergeant Duchesne's family, his wife Rebecca, son Bennett, and daughter Lillian. So thanks for being here. As well as his father-in-law and mother-in-law, Chris and Cheryl. And I'm sorry, what did I screw up, Johnny? And his sister-in-law, Christina. She's here as well, right? All right. His cousin Haley and Sergeant Mabry from the Nashville Police Department, where he's Sergeant, and his wife Diana. So thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Sergeant Fernald's family, his wife Erin, their three children, Graham, Gavin, and Maeve, as well as his parents, Gary and Virginia. So thank you folks for being here as well. And Sergeant Hardy's family, his wife Amanda and his mother Kelly, Ryan's sons, their sons, Logan and Liam, are at camp today, probably doing something more exciting, so but we appreciate them as well. So to the families, please know that you are appreciated, and I'm fully aware of the sacrifices that all of you make on a daily basis in support of your loved ones, so thank you. On behalf of the entire Manchester Police Department, I want to thank Mayor Craig and the entire Board of Aldermen for their support in my request to increase our supervisory complement by 3, which allows us to make these promotions today. The Mayor and the Board fully recognizes and appreciates the need for competent and direct supervision, particularly within the Patrol Division, which is where these 3 gentlemen will be assigned. So Mayor, Alderman, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Shortly, you'll hear the backgrounds and experience of our 3 new sergeants, and I'm confident that you'll agree that they are deserving and they have certainly earned their promotion. To our promotees, gentlemen, you are now at the front line of our mission, protecting, serving, and leading your community and your officers to a safer tomorrow. Remember, we work for the greater good of the community and we serve others. Be part of your community, intimately connected to the community you police, and by all means, give back to the community in the many ways other members of the police department have done in the past. Have the courage to do what is right when it is uncomfortable. My challenge and my hope for you is for you to spend the remainder of your career protecting the safety of others, making a difference in the lives of those we serve, perhaps in small but meaningful ways, and changing things for the better. My advice, start now as you will soon learn, as I have, that your career in policing will be over before you know it. No, I'm not retiring, all right? And you look back and you ask yourself, did I make a difference? Did I matter? And the answer should be unequivocally yes. Gentlemen, it's critically important that you understand your role as a sergeant within this organization, as you are being entrusted with the greatest resource we have, our police officers. You're responsible for their morale, their discipline, and their training, and you're responsible for every man and woman under your care. You must ensure that they are taken care of, are represented, and treated fairly. You are tasked with putting a cohesive team together to create unity toward a common goal. It is often the sergeant who notices personnel absences, the deterioration of a subordinate's work performance, or when things just don't seem right. The sergeant's role is critical in assessing and responding to our officers' wellness. A sergeant will generate a meaningful performance evaluation with goals of improving safety for that officer as well as opportunities for advancement. They often know when a mistake is made as a result of a training failure rather than an act or omission with malicious intent. They know when to give a pep talk, when to add humor to lighten a mood, or when to be deadly serious when confronting a dangerous situation. A skilled sergeant understands the dynamics of our agency and commands respect, and without question, the sergeant is the most important leader in a law enforcement agency. Gentlemen, I wish you all nothing but success and happiness in your new role, and remember your ultimate responsibility is to those you lead. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. We will now introduce our new sergeant's promotions. These gentlemen will be stepping to the middle here. We first have Sergeant Jonathan Duchesne, Sergeant Brett Fernald, and Sergeant Ryan Hardy. I'll now be reading some biographical information that we have to show the backgrounds and the outstanding achievements of these gentlemen. Directly to my left is Sergeant Jonathan Duchesne. Sergeant Jonathan Duchesne is a 1999 graduate of Alvern High School in Hudson, New Hampshire, and joined the U.S. Army shortly after his graduation. During his time at basic training in Fort Benning, Georgia, the U.S. Army recognized his qualities as a leader, and John was named honor graduate for his basic training cycle. Shortly thereafter, John was assigned to the famed 82nd Airborne Division, 325th Airborne Infantry Regiment at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Within a 3-year time period, he rose to the title of squad leader within an infantry airborne platoon. John was honorably discharged and returned home to New Hampshire to pursue a law enforcement career. John was hired as a police officer in the town of Allenstown, New Hampshire from 2003 to 2007, before joining the Manchester Police Department in July of 2007. John worked in the Patrol Division from 2007 to 2015, where he also served on the SWAT team from 2009 to 2012. In 2015, he was reassigned to the Special Enforcement Division, where he worked in both the Street Crime Unit and later as an investigator in the Special Investigations Unit for the past 8 years. During his time with the Special Enforcement Division, John was a senior detective and helped train and mentor newer detectives assigned to the unit. In his role as sergeant, John will be assigned to the 4 to 12 shift as a patrol sergeant in the patrol division. Sergeant Duchesne has received a number of awards since being a member of the Manchester Police Department. In 2013, Sergeant Duchesne was recipient of the Honorable Service Medal in recognition for his actions in alerting and evacuating tenants located on the first and third floors of a building fire on Green Street on February 5th of 2013. He was also recipient of another Honorable Service Medal in 2014 for his recognition of his efforts in locating and arresting a suspect who robbed the Northeast Credit Union on May 30th of 2014. Sergeant Duchesne was a recipient of the Certificate of Recognition in 2015 for his collaborative efforts with fellow officers to take control of a chaotic and tumultuous situation involving a large fight with subjects armed with bats and makeshift weapons on Laurel Street on March 2nd of 2014. In 2020, Sergeant Duchesne was a recipient of the Honorable Service Medal in recognition for his collaborative efforts with fellow officers in the 13-hour armed standoff incident at the Quality Inn on March 27th of 2019. In 2021, he was also the recipient of the Congressional Law Enforcement Medal, which was in recognition of his collaborative efforts with fellow officers in the 13-hour armed standoff incident at the Quality Inn on March 27th of 2019. In 2023, United States Attorney's Office Law Enforcement Award, Sergeant Duchesne was the recipient of in recognition of his outstanding public service and investigative contributions related to a collaborative effort by the Manchester Police Department and the Bureau of Alcohol and Tobacco and Firearms. This investigation resulted in the arrest and conviction of a subject who was dealing firearms within the city and outside the city of Manchester. Sergeant Duchesne is joined today by his wife, Rebecca Duchesne, his son, Bennett, age 7, and his daughter, Lillian, age 4. Standing in the middle to my left is Sergeant Brett Fernald. Sergeant Fernald is a 1999 graduate of Sauhegan High School in Amherst, New Hampshire, and earned his associate's degree in liberal studies in 2005 from Rowan Cabarrus Community College in Salisbury, North Carolina, and his Bachelor of Sociology from SNU in 2018. In 2006, Brett enlisted in the Army, where he went on to become an airborne ranger assigned to the 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment out of Fort Lewis, Washington. While in the Ranger Regiment, Brett completed 5 combat tours between 2006 and 2010, where he was deployed to Iraq 3 times and Afghanistan twice. Brett completed his deployment in 2010 as a squad leader with the rank of sergeant. Upon his honorable discharge from active duty, Brett continued his service as a squad leader in the Massachusetts National Guard until 2012. Brett is a graduate of the 154th session of the New Hampshire Police Academy and worked as a certified officer in the Hooksett, New Hampshire Police Department from 2010 to 2013 before joining us at the Manchester Police Department in April of 2013. Brett worked in the Patrol Division from 2013 to 2016 and was later assigned to the Investigative Division as a juvenile unit investigator in August of 2016. In May of 2019, he was reassigned to the Special Enforcement Division in the FBI Joint Terrorist Task Force, where he has remained for the past 4 years. In his new role as sergeant, Brett will be assigned as a midnight shift patrol sergeant in the Patrol Division. Sergeant Fernald is also the recipient of many awards, starting with in 2015. He received a Certificate of Recognition in recognition of his service to the United States Army and the Massachusetts National Guard from 2006 to 2012. In 2015, he was also the recipient of a certificate of recognition in recognition of his efforts with fellow officers to take control of a chaotic and tumultuous situation involving a large fight with subjects armed with bats and makeshift weapons on Laurel Street on March 2nd of 2014. In May of 2019, Sergeant Furno was the Officer of the Month in recognition of his exceptional and thorough investigative work in a horrific case that led to the arrest of a father who had been sexually abusing his 2 young daughters for over a year. In 2021, the U.S. Attorney's Office Certificate of Appreciation was in recognition of his innovative and diligent investigative efforts during the Christopher Cantwell investigation. In 2021, he was the recipient of the FBI Certificate of Recognition for his superior work ethic and investigative rigor in numerous federal, national security, and criminal investigations. In 2021, he was the recipient of the FBI Certificate of Recognition for notable success and outstanding contributions in major crime control efforts while working with the New Hampshire Joint Terrorism Task Force. Sergeant Furnal is joined today by his wife of 13 years, Erin, his 2 sons, Graham, age 12, and Gavin, age 10, and his daughter, Maeve. And to Sergeant Ryan Hardy, who is standing all the way to my left. Sergeant Hardy is a 2007 graduate of Goffstown High School in Goffstown, New Hampshire, and earned his Bachelor of Arts degree in Criminal Justice in 2012 from Hesser College in Manchester, New Hampshire. Ryan worked for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department from 2011 to 2012, and then attended and graduated from the 158th session of the New Hampshire Police Academy. He worked as a certified police officer in Derry, New Hampshire from 2012 to 2015 before joining the Manchester Police Department in March of 2015. Ryan worked in the Patrol Division from 2015 to 2017. In May of 2016, Ryan was shot in the line of duty and thankfully was able to recover from his injuries, and through his perseverance and dedication, returned to work in August of 2016. Ryan has used this experience to assist in the training of incoming Manchester police officers through his Enforcement Survival Officer Down course. He also shares his personal experience in this course with cadets at the New Hampshire Cadet Training Academy, as well as the New Hampshire Police Standards and Training Council. From 2017 until 2020, Ryan was assigned to the Community Policing Division in the newly created Gang Prevention Unit, and in July of 2020, Ryan was reassigned to the Manchester Police Athletic League, where he was a coordinator position and had remained there for the last 3 years. In his new role as sergeant, Ryan will be assigned as the midnight shift patrol sergeant in the patrol division. Sergeant Hardy is also the recipient of numerous awards. In 2016, Sergeant Hardy received the Medal of Valor in recognition for his courage and professionalism during an incident on May 13th of 2016, where he attempted to initiate a field stop of a male subject who matched the description of a robbery subject and was subsequently shot in the face and shoulder. In 2016, Sergeant Hardy was also the recipient of the New Hampshire Grange Law Enforcement Officer of the Year. Sergeant Hardy, along with fellow officer Matthew O'Connor, were both presented with this award in recognition for their bravery and professionalism during the May 13th, 2016 incident where they were both shot in the line of duty. In 2017, Sergeant Hardy was the recipient of the New Hampshire Congressional Law Enforcement Award, Above and Beyond category, in recognition for his poise, professionalism, responsiveness, and quick thinking demonstrated during the events of May 13 of 2016. And finally, in 2017, Sergeant Hardy was a recipient of recognition for his collaborative efforts with fellow officers to locate a missing man during a snowstorm and render medical attention. Sergeant Hardy is accompanied today by his wife, Amanda. He also has 2 sons, Logan, who is 11, and Liam, who is 8. Chief Aldenberg will now administer the oath of affirmation to Sergeants Duchesne, Fernald, and Hardy.
Gentlemen, raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear that you will faithfully and impartially enforce and uphold the Constitution of the United States and laws of the state of New Hampshire and the Code of Ordinances for the city of Manchester. That you will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, political beliefs, aspirations, animosities, or friendships to influence your decisions. You recognize the badge of your office as a symbol of public faith. You'll accept it as public trust to be held as long as you are true to the ethics of the police service. You perform all duties incumbent upon you as a police sergeant, so help you God.
I do.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
All right, beginning with Sergeant Duchesne, he will now be pinned by his wife Rebecca, his son Bennett, and his daughter Lillian. Come on up.
All business, Johnny.
Sergeant Fernald will now be pinned by his children, Graham, Gavin, and Maeve.
I had a plan, huh?
And Sergeant Hardy will now be pinned by his wife Amanda.
All by myself.
And just a final congratulations to Sergeant Duchesne, Sergeant Fernald, and Sergeant Hardy on their promotion. In closing, I'd like to extend congratulations to our newest promotions and their families. And finally, thank you all for attending today's ceremony. Your support is very much appreciated. You are welcome to and encouraged to come forward and take pictures in front of the MPD backdrop. Please stay as long as you would like. Thank you.